Today on 3D Outdoors, we have 2 more boxes of halves to go through. And you'd be like, oh, that's great, you got $1,000 worth of halves. Well, to be completely honest, this is not the first 2 boxes. Pickings have been kind of slim. I'm going to roll in what I will have hunted through by the end of this video so that you're aware, and then I'll do a recap at the end. See here, $5,500 in halves, $1,000 in quarters, $500 in dimes, $200 in nickels, and $50 in pennies. So yes, by the time I am done with these 2 boxes, in the past 2 weeks, I will have hunted through $7,250 worth of change, 19 boxes, or 29,000 coins to get the totals of what I'll be rolling in the wrap-up. So let's get into these boxes, get these finished up, and then I'll roll in a wrap-up of the entire thing. Little spoiler, yes, this is on Silver Saturday. There is a silver for sure, but that's all I'm going to say at this point. We'll get into these boxes and get them hunted. All right, real quick update before I start in here. Just so you know, right after I recorded that portion, I got a call that I had access to another box of halves. So we have another box. We'll get hunted through all of them, so that makes $6,000 in halves. We'll get the totals updated before we do the roundup at the end. Let's see what we find. All right, wrapping up this Silver Saturday. And this was quite the hunt. As you can see in the top corner, I've listed $8,000 plus. At the beginning, I kind of went over this as well. And then I had an update that I was able to get another box of halves. And I was also able to pick up some additional coins when I was en route for those halves. So with the boxes, we had $7,750. And after I added in the miscellaneous coins, we're up to $8,000 plus in coins, 20 boxes of coins, 30,000 individual coins I searched in this hunt. So this took about 3 weeks. I started it over the holiday season, and we're here into the second week of January. So it was a 3-week hunt, and I just kept looking. I kept looking and looking and looking, trying to find good stuff. And it's getting harder and harder, as you'll be able to see, because out of 30,000 coins, this is what I saved. We'll go over this first. I saved the copper, so you can see we almost got a full jar of copper pennies, a pickle jar's worth, which is not a lot really. So we have those, which is good. We did get a stack of Canadians, pretty decent, and we have some wheats here, but when you look at the wheat per roll ratio, that is really low. There was nothing outstanding. I think the oldest one was a 30-something. So not impressive that I didn't even lay them out by dates. So let's go over some of the other stuff we have here, and then we'll get over why it's a Silver Saturday. We did find a 1972 proof, and this is, and hopefully you can see it on camera, is in really good shape yet. Obviously it's no longer proof, but I will put it in a holder and hang on to it. Have a 77 proof, which is in a little worse condition, other marks, but I'll hang on to that as well. And then a 2005 reverse proof, and this isn't in very good shape at all, but I will hang on to it. Doesn't hurt anything to put that in the collection. Have a presidential coin here. A lot of the stuff is wore off the front, obviously just worth the 50 cents, but I'll hang on to it because it's neat. A couple stacks of not intended for circulations. Some of those are good, some of them are not, but it doesn't hurt anything to throw them in the collection and just hang on to them. And we found a magic coin, and these are always fun to find. This is the second one that I found. You can see this side's been hollowed out, and it's for a magician when they're doing a trick. They're like, well, I have a Mexican coin here, and I have this quarter, and I have a $50 here, you know, and if I stack these all together, then I can, boom, and then he just shows that, hey, I got 2 coins now, one of them disappeared. Well, it's just because the one slipped into the other. You can see they're all milled, so they fit together. Very cool to find, though. I think if you go to buy them, they're $25 or $30, something like that. So that's a cool find. A lot of coins to get there though. Let's get into the quarters. 2008 quarter here, which is kind of neat. I think must have been their Olympic year. Looks like there's an Olympic symbol there. And looks like some sword play or something going on there on the back of that. Kind of cool. And another Canadian quarter 78, which is pretty minimal for all the rolls that I went through. You can see I went through $1,000 worth of quarters, and that's the only thing that jumped out. We had a Barbados and another foreign coin there. Had a Canadian dime as well. Let's get into the nickels. The nickels were a little more exciting. Have a 1939 over here, and 39, you know, is getting real close to the buffaloes. Well, look at this. We have a 1936 buffalo that I found in a roll, and you can read the date clear as a bell on there. It's in really good shape for a buffalo, because the buffalo is usually, as that has that raised date, those usually get wore off first. So that's a really good find right there. Another stack of Canadian nickels. The Canadian pennies, just to touch on that, they don't make those anymore, so those all go into my collection. So there's a roundup of what I found. Now let's get into the silver. So I have a 1961 dime. I did not find that dime in my rolls. And you're going to say, well, why is it on the board for this hunt? I went back to the bank, putting some of the change back in, and they have a change counting machine. And in the return of the bottom of the machine was a handful of coins. So in the return was a regular dime, this token, a regular quarter, and a Jamaican coin, and this dime right here. And I noticed right away that looked different. Well, it's a 1961. That's a silver dime. So I found a silver dime in the return, which is really cool. And you'd say, well, that doesn't really qualify it for a Silver Saturday because you found it in the return. You didn't find it in the rolls you hunted. But I did find one silver coin in over $8,000 worth of change hunted. I found a 1943p. See right there is the mint mark above that indicates the silver. It's a 1943. Definitely the silver year, and you see a little bit of a different tone to that coin. So that is silver. So that would make the Silver Saturday, but still very happy to have found that silver dime in the return when I went to the bank. But over $8,000, that's a lot of change. 30,000 plus coins just to find this. That's a lot of work. And like I said, it took 3 weeks to complete all of this just to get this wrap up right here. So there you go. That's what the coin situation is looking like out there. But at least I have a few things to add to the collection. This is Dan with 3D Outdoors, reminding you to get into the outdoors and enjoy everything it has to offer. If you like this video, make sure to hit the subscribe button at the bottom, and you can always follow us over at 3d-outdoors.com. That's our website where we pull everything together. See you next time.